In September 2024, a guy named Matthew Gallagher launched a company from his house in Los Angeles. No office, no investors, no employees, just a laptop and $20,000. 12 months later, that company had done $401 million in revenue. His company is called Medvi, a telehealth startup selling weight loss medication online. And here's the thing, the business model wasn't new. Hims and Hers had been doing the exact same thing for years, with over 2,000 employees. Gallagher did it with AI and nearly tripled their profit margin in the process. It took him 2 months to get off the ground. From his living room, he used AI to write the code that powers his entire platform, generate the website copy, produce images and videos for his ads using Midjourney and Runway, and handle customer service. He built AI systems to analyze his own company's performance in real time, and for anything he genuinely couldn't do himself, he outsourced it. The one person he actually hired, months into running the business, was his younger brother Elliot. That's the whole team, 2 people, and Medvi is now on track to generate $1.8 billion in revenue this year. Now, I'm not telling you this so you go start a telehealth company. I'm telling you because this changes what's actually possible for one person. So in this video, I'm going to break down the exact system, the tools, the steps, and the order that lets AI handle the work of running a business while you focus on the parts that actually need you. 4 steps. Let's get into it. Before the tools, one thing has to click. Stop being the worker. Start being the architect. Most people open ChatGPT, ask something, copy the answer, paste it somewhere else, get a reply, go back to ChatGPT, paste that in, and they become the middleman in their own business, running back and forth between tools, doing every handoff manually. That's not automation. That's just doing the same job with a fancier assistant. The real move? Stay inside the tool. Every time you're about to leave and do something yourself, stop and ask, can the AI do this next step too? Because when you chain those moments together, that's when you've built something that actually runs without you. Here's how real that gets. One afternoon, Gallagher made a minor change to his website and stepped away from his desk. His phone rang. 0 orders in the last hour. He had broken something in production, and there was no team to fix it. No on-call engineer, no backup. Just him. He had to sprint back and sort it out alone. That's the other side of running a lean AI operation. You become the only human backstop when something goes wrong. But here's the thing. He still chose this model over a 60-person team because his previous startup had 60 employees and never once turned a profit. More people meant higher costs and slower decisions. With Medvi, every single function had to justify itself, and AI justified most of them. Now, let's get into the 4 steps. Step 1, attract. The first problem in any service business is always the same, finding the right people to sell to. And the old way of doing it, scrolling LinkedIn, opening 100 tabs, building a spreadsheet row by row, is dead. The tool for this step is Manus AI. The URL is manus.im. I'm using this one because you don't need to know how to code or understand how automation works behind the scenes. If you've used ChatGPT, you already know how to use Manus. The difference is Manus can actually open a browser, go to websites, pull data, and build you a spreadsheet on its own. Here's a real example. Let's say you're starting a digital marketing agency. You type this in, find 50 e-commerce brands in the health and wellness space that are active on Instagram and Facebook, posted in the last 30 days. Pull their company name, website, social handles, and recent content topics into a table. Hit enter. Manus opens a browser, scrapes the data, and hands you a finished spreadsheet. What used to take hours of manual work now takes about as long as it takes you to make a coffee. And you can go deeper. Add something like, flag any brand that's posted about scaling problems or ads that aren't converting. Now, you're not just finding leads, you're finding warm leads. People who already told the internet they have the exact problem you solve. If you want to go even further on lead research, Clay is worth looking into for enriching contact data, and Apollo.io for pulling verified emails at scale. But Manus is where you start. Step 2, convert. Here's where most people waste the lead list they just built. They either overthink it and never send anything, or they blast the same copy-paste message to 200 people and wonder why no one replies. The reason personalized outreach works is simple. People can feel when something was written for them. And AI, when you give it the right inputs, can write messages that actually feel personal at scale. Back in Manus, with your lead list loaded, you run this. Act as a sales and marketing expert. For each brand on this list, write a personalized cold email. Reference something specific from their recent social media. My pitch is, I help e-commerce brands grow their online revenue without increasing ad spend. Close with a request for a 15-minute call. Different opening line for every contact. Different subject. Different reference point pulled from their actual content. You review it, tweak anything that feels off, done. For sending it volume, you'll connect either Instantly or Smart Lead, both built specifically for cold email at scale with inbox warm-up built in. Manus writes, those tools send. You don't touch it. Then, and most people skip this part, set up monitoring. Tell Manus. Every 24 hours, check my inbox for replies to these outreach emails. If anyone responds with interest, send me a Slack notification. So instead of babysitting your email, the system taps you on the shoulder when something actually matters. Step 3. Deliver. Someone replied to your outreach. Meeting in 2 days. Most people scramble to throw together a generic deck the night before. Here's what you do instead. Go into Manus and run this. Analyze this brand's online presence. Review their website, Instagram, Facebook, and ad campaigns from the last 6 months. Find patterns, which posts got the most engagement, what messaging worked, what didn't. Organize everything into a table. Manus pulls their socials, scans their content, and builds an analysis that would take a human analyst days to put together. You walk into that meeting knowing their business better than most of their own marketing team does. Then you go back in and say, create a presentation with these insights. Pull their brand colors, fonts, and logo from their website and replicate that visual style in the slides. Publish it as a public link. The output looks like it came from their own design team. Not a generic template with your logo on it, a custom deck in their exact branding. And instead of a PDF attachment, you're sending a live link that opens like a mini website built just for them. Nobody is doing this. The few who are, winning deals they have no business winning on paper. For polished decks specifically, Gamma is also worth having in your toolkit. It's built just for AI-generated presentations, and the output looks clean out of the box. Step 4. Scale. Here's the part of the Medvi story people don't talk about. Gallagher didn't just use AI to launch. He used it to replace an entire company's worth of operations. Think about what that actually looked like in practice. Customer service ran on 11 Labs voice tools and a custom AI chatbot. Ad creative came from Midjourney and Runway. Code was written with ChatGPT, Claude, and Grok. When his internal software systems couldn't communicate with each other, he didn't hire an engineer. He built custom AI agents to bridge the gaps himself. He was running what most companies would staff with dozens of people from a single laptop. The result? A 16.2% net profit margin, which works out to roughly $65 million in actual profit. Hims and Hers, doing $2.4 billion in revenue with over 2,400 employees, ran a 5.5% margin that same year. Gallagher nearly tripled it with 2 people. He wasn't grinding harder. He was thinking clearer about what actually needed a human and letting AI handle everything else. For your business, once the first 3 steps are working, here's what to automate next. Scheduling and follow-ups. Use Manus or Zapier to trigger sequences automatically. Content repurposing. Opus Clip or Cast Magic can turn one piece of content into 10. Client reporting. Manus monitors your data sources and generates weekly summaries on its own. And internal knowledge, feed everything into Notion AI so nothing lives only in your head. The rule is simple. If you're doing the same task more than once a week in the exact same way, it's a candidate for automation. The goal is to be the only person doing the thing only you can do. The Gallagher story doesn't prove that AI is magic or that anyone can type prompts and make millions. He spent years teaching himself to code, understood marketing deeply, and had already failed once with a 60-person company that burned through money without ever turning a profit. He knew exactly what he was doing. AI just let him execute it without the overhead. What it does prove is this. The gap between a one-person operation and a full team is the smallest it has ever been. And the people who understand that right now while everyone else is still using AI like a fancy Google search, are building real distance between themselves and everyone else. The tools are available to everyone. That's not the advantage. The advantage is how you think about connecting them. Are you doing one task at a time, or are you building systems that run while you're not watching? That's the only question that matters. And hey, if you've got the drive to build something, but you still feel financially stuck no matter what you do, that's probably a separate problem worth solving first. I put out a video on the real reason most people feel broke, and it has nothing to do with income. It's something most people never think to look at. If that sounds familiar, that's the one to watch next.